Ismail Wolff. He's the Regional Director of Fortify Rights. Ismail, good to speak with you now. Let's focus in on the Rohingya. What effects will the repatriation effort have as a result of the coup by the military?
I think it's an important question. There's a lot of different human rights issues that this coup has thrown up, and there's a lot of concerns, obviously. For the Rohingya in particular, the 1 million or so refugees currently in Bangladesh, repatriation efforts have been ongoing. Those discussions have largely been held between the Bangladesh government and the Myanmar government, and also China brokering some of those talks. The Rohingya have never been really at the center of those talks, and that's the important part of this. But in terms of how the coup may impact that process is very stalled. The likelihood of voluntary, dignified returns to the country anytime soon, we're not looking very likely under the previous government, under the NLD. Many of the restrictions that were being imposed upon the Rohingya community in Myanmar were those imposed by the NLD government and the military responsible for those atrocity crimes. So the situation obviously definitely not better, but there wasn't much hope of return coming anytime soon under the previous government either.
No, you're right. There's not much optimism for them. And I do wonder what the situation is for the Rohingya still in Myanmar. After all, it is this military that is accused of committing genocide against them just a couple of years ago.
Certainly this would be of a huge concern, as I said, for the Rohingya community, but also other ethnic minority communities all across the country and the majority population. Human rights situation in the country over the last couple of years certainly wasn't perfect, but particularly for the Rohingya in Rakhine State, they suffer under really intense controls over their lives and restrictions that really break all fundamental human rights. No freedom of movement, unable to choose who they marry, education, access to healthcare, really prisoners in their own homes, in their own villages, and there's also over 100,000 or so in IDP, internal displacement camps there. So the rights situation for the Rohingya in Rakhine State, extreme circumstances for them already. Under a military government, the likelihood of things moving in a forward direction in terms of opening up rights for them increasingly more dim, I would say. So yeah, very, very concerning for Rohingya, but also, as I said, other communities all across the country.
Yeah, the situation continues to be bleak for the Rohingya and all communities in Myanmar as a result of this coup. Ismail Wolff from Fortify Rights, thank you for your time.